new live stream. And I was just realizing that the last live stream was, I think, 44 days ago. I'm just actually looking at my donation alerts, last donations, I guess. And somebody did actually send a donation 25 days ago, 36 days ago, and 44 days ago. So I'm not sure. I think maybe 44 days ago. Probably more than a month since I've done a live stream. So I hope everybody's doing well. Perhaps we can talk about where I was. I'm sure if you're following the channel as a regular viewer, I'm sure you probably realize that I was on a short holiday and I left Russia temporarily, and I'm now back. Actually, we've been back, I think, about 5 days now. I can't remember really days of the week as of when we flew back. And we got back to Moscow, and then I've been out the last couple of days making new videos. Actually, 3 days in a row, I've been making videos. So yeah, welcome to anybody who is also a Traveling with Russell Telegram user, or at least in the chat. I see here Vitaly, who is our moderator in the chat on the live streams. He's also a moderator on the chat as well on Telegram. So, and I did notice earlier today, he mentioned about I should do a live stream today. I actually went to Moscow today to make a video at the car rally, which was at Voroviva Gore, or Sparrow Hill. So I figured if I can get back early enough, if I can calm down from the hot weather, I can do a live stream before my wife gets home from work. She's actually working late today till 8:30. She's pretty much got bookings galore since she's been away for 3.5 weeks herself. She had all her clients waiting for her. If you're not aware, my wife is a nail technician or a manicurist, or master manicurum, they call them here in Russia. And she has her own salon in the building where we live downstairs. So she had people actually messaging her before she even got back to Moscow to make some bookings. Of course, it's summer here, so all the ladies want their nails done and they want pedicure so they can wear sandals and open shoes. So yeah, so she's pretty much barring she had the first full day off. So when we arrived back, and then the full next day, and then she started again. And she's pretty much been at work all week. So God bless her for being the trooper she is, going to work every day. She does definitely work around how people make bookings. So if there's no clients, she's not working. If she's got bookings, she's at work. So yeah, there's a few people already in the chat. You're more than welcome to post something in the chat, maybe where you're from. How is the weather where you are? Here in Moscow, it's absolutely roasting. Now, if you're not aware, I was in Bali for 3.5 weeks in Indonesia. And coming back to Moscow, it feels actually warmer here than it was in Bali. There's a lot of humidity in Bali. So daytime and nighttime temperature doesn't change a whole lot in Bali. So you've got about 26 to 28 degrees daytime and nighttime. And then here in Moscow, I think today was about 31 or 32, but it definitely feels hotter. And in Australia, I'm so used to getting so much shade, and everywhere you go, there's shade. And everywhere I seem to have gone in the last 2 days, there's no shade. And everybody does love the sun and does love the summer in Moscow, or in Russia generally. And there's a point where it just gets too hot. So we kind of are waiting out winter to finish, and then spring comes, and then we're waiting for summer to start, and now we're waiting already for autumn. So you can't really win here with the weather. So thank you, whoever's joining the live stream. There's 33 people watching live, and there's 19 thumbs up. So thank you so much. Barbara was the first person to say hello. Thank you, Barbara. We missed you. Thank you so much. Welcome back. We have missed you. Thank you. That's so nice of you. I think the first one, actually, I've got 2 different streams open on 2 different screens. So I can actually see all the stuff that's deleted on this screen, and on the other stream, they disappear. So sorry if I put that up. Vitaly, he was ready. Go, go, go. So maybe you're at home or you're at your dacha as well. Lots of people probably away for the weekend who are in Russia. I think the video is stalled. Somebody let me know if it's coming through nice and clearly. Don't forget also there's a little cog where you can adjust the quality of the playback. And obviously you can put the volume up or down as well. So Vitaly, thank you for being here for the live stream. Everything working just fine. Thank you, VG. Thank you so much. Joe's in New York City, or the Big Apple. In Australia, we've got these, okay, you call it the Big Apple, right? But in Australia, a lot of cities, or especially a lot of country towns, have like something big, like the big banana, the big pineapple, the big prawn. And there's usually some sort of a big statue or object in the town, which is helpful for tourism because people want to go and see them, all these objects. But, oh, Vitaly's in Tula. Everything is fine. Or in Tula region. Nice. Chester. Barbara's in Chester in UK. Now, I did actually watch the men's final of Wimbledon, and I switched it off about four points from the end of the final of the men's final, and I saw that Alcaraz won it because I just realized how short a time I put on the start of the live stream. So, and then I know at 10 p.m. Moscow time, which is going to be 7 p.m. soon, 3 hours from now is going to be the Euro final, or Euros final. So, Andrea, hello. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Bavara here from Dacha. Everybody's in their Dacha except me. My wife is going to be going to her friend's Dacha one day next week. I'm not sure when. Her friend is already there now, but Jen's going to try to squeeze a couple of days in and go to her friend's Dacha. It's in the basically on the southeast of Moscow. It's about 4 hours by train from Moscow, southeast. So, yeah. Hello from Toronto, Canada. It's been hot and humid here too. Whoa, nice. Toronto, Canada. It's really, while we were in Bali, so there was some very warm days. Most of the time, we spent 2 weeks on an island called Gili Air. I did a couple of videos there. And pretty much during the day, we'd stay by the beach, or at least at this place called Chill Out Bar. Then generally in the afternoon, we'd walk back to the hotel. The place where we were staying was only 8 rooms, and there was a swimming pool. And normally I'd come back after feeling hot and stuffy, and, because it's so warm by the beach, I'd just jump straight in the pool, calm down, get the body temperature back to normal, and have a nice cold shower, and I'd just feel back to refresh. And here, I came back today from being out in Moscow, and the first thing I did was jump in a cold shower in the bathroom. Not quite Bali style, but it was very nice. Force feed. Hello from Podolsk. Oh, people everywhere, especially around Moscow region today. 22 Celsius and sunny, Mr. Jamo. Nice. That's what we need. We want 32. We need 22. That would be much nicer. What team am I going to root for in the final? Probably England, because my father is British. Although he's not probably that bothered. He would probably prefer to watch cricket rather than, in Australia we call it soccer, but the rest of the world calls it football. In Australia we have Australian rules football. Then we have rugby union, which is football. And we've got rugby league, which is football. So we tend to not call soccer football because it's just too many footballs. Andrea, thank you so much for the cup of tea. Thank you. Or cup of coffee, at least. Thank you. Actually, more than likely, it'll be probably some sort of cool drink because it's just too hot to drink coffee right now. But thank you for the super chat. And that reminds me, if anybody would like to help the channel, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Now, depending on where you are in the world, most people have the option to use super chats or super thanks. You can also put a like on people's super chats now, so people can put thumbs ups on the super chats. And if someone happens to do a question in a super chat, you can now reply to the questions, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, so if you're in most countries, super chats work. There is also a pinned comment where if you want to do something called donation alerts, Now, most people in Russia tend to use that or like to use it because it's easier. And most people don't have access to super chats in Russia, if you're a Russian viewer especially. So donation alerts works. And then also, if you happen to be like everybody else in Russia, you can do phone-to-phone transfer, which is the SberBank or SberBank. I don't know how to say that correctly. I've said it wrong for my whole life of living here in Russia. So if anybody would like to help the channel and help me make more videos, pretty much money from the YouTube goes back into YouTube. So things like going out for lunch when I'm out filming, that's normally what I do. Like yesterday, I went to the parade of trams in Moscow, and then I went and had lunch on the way home. Well, actually between filming, because I went to Patriarchal Ponds afterwards. So I stopped for a bit of lunch, and then I went and filmed again. So yeah, that's basically where the riches of YouTube go into making more videos. And while I was in Bali, I got a new microphone, and basically the money from YouTube goes towards getting, actually this is the little fancy case that it comes in. It's a very fancy case. It's a bit hard to see, but there's the cable, and then this is then essentially a second microphone. It really stuck in there, but there's a little magnet on the back as well. So I can now use two microphones. So if I want to have a conversation, so if you didn't maybe watch the last video where I went and saw that tiny house, and I was there with Yuri, my good friend Yuri. He and I went out to see a display village of houses. We both had a microphone on. I'm still trying to tweak getting it correct because I feel like the volume's not equal on both microphones. But I bought this in Australia. I ordered it and had it delivered to my parents' house. And if you're not aware, my mum and dad flew to Bali about 2 days before we got there. And we celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary in Bali. So, and they brought me this microphone along with them because I had a little bit of a shopping list of things that I wanted. Let me just get a bit comfortable on the chair. And that was one of them. I can probably buy that here somehow, but I'd much prefer to buy it from an official store, get the full receipt and invoice, and it's all good. 30 degrees still at 7 p.m. Yeah, I've got the curtains in the other room. You can probably see a little bit. It's a bit dark because we've got curtains. Now, basically, if you're not aware, we're in this apartment. We moved in here quite a lot of months ago now. And we've now got new curtains in the front bedroom or lounge room. So it basically blackens out, especially in the afternoon, because the sun sets straight into our windows on the balcony here. So thank you, Mick. Love the Turtle Beach vlog from England. Yes, Turtle Beach Hotel. There is actually two there on the island. There's Turtle Beach Hotel, and then there's Turtle Garden, which is around the corner, which is a garden. It's not on the beach. I've stayed at Turtle Beach now, I can't remember if it was 4 or 5 times. One of the times when I went there without my wife, before I was with my wife, I stayed there because the other place we were going to stay in was full. So my friend recommended that place, and we've stayed there a few times and really love it. It's very nice because it's on the beach. Not normally we swim right there where you saw the video. We'd actually walk down to another place called Chill Out Bar and hang out there. 95 in Tallahassee. Wow. Very warm. So, yeah. John Mark, hello. How's it going? Got 49 people watching and 42 likes. That's super amazing. Andrea said she loved all the Bali videos. Yes, I didn't make a lot. The first week we were there, we were with my parents, my auntie and uncle. What's gone on? Everything has gone black. Ooh, did I just disappear? Please tell me everything's good in the comments. That was a bit crazy. Yeah, we spent the first week of 3.5 weeks with my parents, first 6 days actually. Then we flew to Lombok, which is an island immediately near Bali. And we spent 13 days on Gili Air. And then we came back and had one night in Lombok because we decided to come back one day early and try a different hotel in Lombok. And then we came back to Bali for 4 nights. And then here we are, back in Moscow. What are your opinions on New Zealand? Well, it's the neighboring country from Australia, so I've only got positive things to say. I've never been there physically. All working. We can see you. You're loud and clear. Thank you, everybody. Mick, Michael, and Juan. Yeah, so I can't really say anything about New Zealand because I've never been there physically. I met yesterday when I was in Patriarch Ponds. I was just about to go walk down the main street where all the bars and coffee shops are and cafes. And a lady comes up to me and says, "Oh, where are you from?" She said it in English. "Where are you from?" I said, "Oh, I'm from Australia." She goes, "Hang on a minute. My husband's from New Zealand. Let me go grab him." And there was quite a lot of people around. And her husband obviously was from New Zealand, and they were visiting Moscow. And then her friend, I think it was her brother, obviously is Russian. So she was kind of translating everything I was saying because we were, the guy from New Zealand and I were chatting like just crazy, very fast about everything. Just so random. And her husband said, "How did you know he was Australian?" And I said, "I don't know. She just said hello to me." Because probably she heard me speaking English while I was filming. And then just the chance of meeting another New Zealander in Moscow is like lottery chances. So Fireflux, hello. Nice to see you back home. Yes, back in the, I guess it's the computer room, spare room. It's kind of my room. My wife's got the rest of the whole flat. Yuri was telling me that I should not call this an apartment. I should call it a flat. Because in Moscow, apparently there's flats and there's apartments. And there is a difference. Wayne, how are you? Oh, you're asking how am I? I'm very good. 2 hot days in a row going in Moscow. So yesterday I went to the Parade of Trams. Now you'll see these videos coming up, not straight away, but probably later in the week. And there's some of the old trams that are kept in storage and in a museum are brought out and put on the tram lines. And then I went for a walk around a place called Patriot Ponds, which is one of the fancy parts of the center of Moscow. Oh, some people have left. It's a mountain of people who watched, and now slowly people are dipping down. And then today I went to see a car rally, although the cars don't rally. They were all parked up. But there's a whole lot of Moskvich. There was a whole lot of Ladas. There was a lot of Mercedes there. There was a lot of buses, old buses. So I'll have a video on that as well. 30 degrees. In Germany, it's below that and a bit rainy. Oh, and so the final of the Euros is tonight as well. So Pierre, South African, living in China for 18 years, just got back from a holiday in Vladivostok. Such an amazing city. Wow. When we were flying back from Bali to Moscow, we were waiting to check in. We got there 4.5 hours early at the airport because we were told that it's a bit hectic doing the check-in because we flew with China Southern Airlines through Guangzhou. And we sat next to a girl. Well, I sat next to her, and then my wife was next to me. And she was from Vladivostok. And I asked her about, there's a North Korean cafe in Vladivostok. And I asked her if she knew about it. And she had no idea what I was talking about. So I showed her a YouTube video of someone going there. And then she recognized a lot of the places and the buildings and things like that. And then I just randomly just told her that I've got a, is it lagging? Is it just me? That's a bit strange. I said that I've got a Telegram channel. I've got YouTube, but I didn't really talk about it too much. And then I said I've got a Telegram channel. So she joined the Telegram channel. And then almost within half an hour, she messaged me or messaged in the chat that she already recognized my videos because she'd watched some of my videos before we sat and chatted at the airport. And she was flying back to Vladivostok from Bali, like 4 different connecting flights. Very hectic. Yes, Robert, yes. This is the apartment on the last apartment tour video where it says like for rent. And this is the apartment where we're now living. Yes, with the glass blocks. So yeah, we are still debating, should we get rid of these glass blocks? Because in the evening time, the light shines through from the computer here into the room where my wife sleeps in the other room. So we're still contemplating what to do. Was there a lot of Russians in Bali? Now, we were in Gili Air for 2 weeks. We were really only in Bali for, well, the 6 days with my parents. We were in Sanua, which you would rarely see any Russians there, maybe occasionally. Most of them are in Canggu, which is another part of southern Bali. We did meet a couple, an Australian couple. So the wife was Russian, her husband was Australian. She'd lived in Sydney for 20 years. On the first of the 2 weeks in Gili Air, my wife chatted to her quite a whole lot. But in Bali, we saw some Russians at the shopping centers. And we went to a couple of the shopping centers to do a bit of shopping, but we didn't generally see that many. And now apparently there's a lot there, but we didn't see many. We can see you. Thank you. Have I met other Australians in Russia? Yes, I have. I've met another YouTuber who lives in St. Petersburg. His channel is called Aussie Spy. Maybe you want to look that up. Jason, his name is. So I met him in Moscow. He came a couple of times to Moscow. We met up a couple of times. The Australians that live in Altai, I met them about 2 years ago in Moscow. They came to do some things in Moscow and in St. Petersburg. And I met them pretty much for lunch, and we went for a walk around. I've met a couple of Australians who were teachers here about 2 years ago. We went and watched the football together. What is the name of the mic that I bought? It's called, well, I don't think there's a name of the microphone, but I've got the DJI Pocket 3. And then I don't know I don't think the microphone's got a name. I don't think so. It's got a pretty cool cover on it where you can see all of the workings. And that's the dead cat. So that's the bit, that's the microphone, and that will go on top and then just protects it from the wind. And then on the back, there's a clip, so you can just clip it on things. And then this magnet, it's crazy strong, this magnet. It's got this crazy click. Sorry, my nose is twitchy. But I've only used it a couple of times with 2 mics as a bit of a test. When I filmed the IKEA video with my wife, we tried it. And then with Yuri, I tried it. We actually filmed 2 videos, Yuri and I. We filmed another one at a shipping container house. So DJI, I think they're called Mic 2, M-I-C, Mic 2. You can buy them in a kit with 2 mics and a receiver in a recharging case. But I don't need it because I can just recharge it with the Type-C cable. Oh, you visited the restaurant? Yes. It was pretty cool talking about it to that girl because she'd never heard of it. Imagine she lives there and didn't know. Are you going to stream going to stream sometime in Moscow from Patricky, for example? I've tried streaming a couple of times and the internet tends to not hold up as well. And then I find I like to read the comments and it's very difficult to read the screen as you're walking around. There is a lot of channels that do walking tours in Moscow live. That would be pretty hectic to do it in Patriarch Ponds there because of how busy it is with people. Pretty much the video I filmed yesterday was walking around the pond, and then I walked up and down the main drag, I guess. So yeah, that video is going to be very much unedited because I pretty much just walk and film. I love when your wife is in the videos. I work with my husband every day. Yes, I wish my wife could be in more videos. I'd love it to be on a live stream. I know we've talked about it a million times. And she was briefly on the IKEA one. Actually, that was against her will a little bit. So we actually went to another shopping center. We wanted to go to certain shopping centers in Bali on those 4 days on the way back from Gili because we wanted to go to shops that we don't have here in Moscow. And then I suggested, on the way back from the shopping center, let's go there because it was on the way to our hotel. Let's go to that IKEA. And originally we were just going to have ice cream outside. And then Jen said, oh, well, let's just have lunch instead. So we had something to eat. I had fish and chips. She had the meatballs. And then she decided to be on that last bit of the video there. So she wasn't all that thrilled about walking around IKEA because we didn't really have the room in our luggage to buy things to bring back. So in our end of the world, San Diego, California. Hello. I was trying to recall your YouTube channel's name a few days ago. I remember the guy that popped up in my YouTube feed this morning. Wow, thank you. Yeah, I guess you could search Russian typical as a keywords. Russian typical supermarket, Russian typical apartment, and a lot of videos would come up with the Russian typical in it. So 43 people watching and 58 likes. Thank you so much. And thank you to Andrea for the super chat. And if anyone else would like to join the, I guess, Pay for Russell's Lunch Fund, that's the best way I can put it. That's the best way. From San Diego. I've been to San Diego on a cruise ship. We did the cruise from San Diego up to Victoria, Canada, and up to Vancouver. We've also done the cruise. We went from San Diego to Hawaii, then we came back to Ensenada. I think it was Ensenada. We did the round trip. We did like a 14-day round trip cruise. I think it was. Scott, hello. We missed your live streams. Wanted to ask, do people react differently in Bali, Indonesia, while you are holding a camera and walking and talking? There's pretty much no reaction in Bali. There's not that many people filming, and pretty much in Gili Air, particularly where I was, you don't see anybody filming or walking and talking or blogging, or so most people aren't kind of prepared when they see somebody with a camera. So yeah, there wasn't really any reaction from people or differently. Probably in Moscow, I get more people turning around and turning their head because I'm speaking English in Russia. And obviously 99% of people are speaking Russian, right? Maybe 100%. So where you see people turning their head or looking or staring, it's really because they hear English and they're like, oh, okay. Whereas in Bali and in Indonesia and Gili Air, English is the common language, especially in the tourist places where I was. So pretty much all of the local Indonesians, of course, they speak, it's called Bashia, is the native language. But with all of the tourists, they're all speaking English. So, me just talking English while everyone else is talking English isn't really out of the norm. Whereas here in Moscow, even today when I was walking around at the car rally, you get people kind of turning their head and looking and listening, and then realizing that I'm filming a blog. There's today and yesterday there was a ton of people taking photos and selfies and making little videos of the cars and the buses, and yesterday the trams. So I kind of fit it in a little bit easier. David, hello. Fortuna Minecraft. David, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Kind of miss seeing some of your videos and photos on our chat of your house and all of your plants that you're growing and things like that. Slatko. That's Russian. Kakosi. I was going to say Здравствуйте. Kakosi, brate. From Macedonia. I wonder, is everybody going to be watching the Euros tonight? It's at 10 o'clock Moscow time, so depending on where everyone else is watching. In Bali or in Gili Air, the matches there was generally 2 matches a day, midnight and 3 a.m. With the time difference. Because they were mostly evening matches, and then Bali would be 7 or 8 hours, I think 7 or 6 hours ahead of Germany. So 10 p.m. here. I guess is it 8 p.m.? Is it 2 hours difference with Germany, Moscow? Never North, only Macedonia. Oh, there we go. Okay. David, hello. Vitali. We'll be watching the game. Yeah, I guess everyone now is Alcaraz winning the Wimbledon. Now they want to be backing it up and winning the football. And England, obviously the whole country, even supermarkets are closing early. And then some supermarkets are going to open late tomorrow. There's a lot of things that even some of the other shows and concerts were changing their times to basically allow people to watch the match, or knowing that people aren't going to be watching, are going to be watching that and not doing other things. Even in Bali on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there was a lot of Australian sport on TV, and we went to watch football a couple of times. I did, and I took my wife to one match. She wasn't impressed. The whole bar was Australian people, obviously watching Australian rules football. She wasn't very impressed. I was hoping she'd like it. I know she doesn't like it anyway, but yeah, the crazy time for the Euros while we were in Bali, though. Stephen will be watching as well. There we go. So I guess even if your team's not in the final, it's a big deal, right? It's like the World Cup or the Olympics. You kind of want to kind of at least look and see what's going on. And then, like with the Olympics, you're kind of hoping that the country you're from will win a medal in some kind, in some random sport. So it's interesting. So yeah, just talking about YouTube generally, so yesterday or the day before, I put the first video back in Moscow on the channel. So I went to the display village of homes or kit homes or I forgot what they call them, kit homes or model homes that mostly people were buying to put on land or on property or as country homes, as dachas. And the two, Vitaly and I, we walked around pretty much most of the day. We was in Istra, so it was probably about 2 hours drive, probably longer from where I live. I met Yuri in Moscow, close to where he lives, and then we could drive there together. And then the day we went was actually like a business to business day, so it wasn't open to the public till the day after. So we went on what day did we go? 11th, Thursday, and I guess Friday. I think yesterday was the first day that it was open to the general public, if you like. So, and I thought it would be cool for Yuri as well, because obviously he's got a YouTube channel about remodeling houses and things like that, and apartments mostly. So I'm just looking at my other screen. I think I'm a few seconds off my live here, and then what I'm watching that goes on to YouTube. So now, yeah, so that was the first. I'm going to have one more video from there. I went and saw a shipping container home. And basically one container is the house. And then there was a second container, which was the patio or the deck that could attach to it. And then obviously the Chinese pod home. And now that's actually getting a lot of views, which is kind of very surprising. I knew it kind of would. Probably not viral views, but I guess I really need to point out, which I didn't do in the video, like the reason for those pod homes and how they would be used in Russia. Because a lot of people think that the way I made it is like everybody in Russia is going to have one of those. And obviously that wouldn't happen. A lot of those would get sold and put into kind of like a holiday village style, where there'd be some land, maybe 6 or 8 of those would be placed on property. Then there'd be some barbecues and maybe like a gazebo and things like that. And they'd have Airbnb style rentals of them. Malabar, hello from Murmansk. Hello. How's things up north? It's north, right? North of Moscow. Oh, Copa America finals between Argentina and Colombia today as well. Well, that's interesting. I didn't look. I knew about it because I saw that Canada was in like the semis or the quarterfinals. But I didn't really pay any attention to what time it's on. There's a lot of sport to watch at the moment. Now Wimbledon's finished, it's kind of easier. And then also, if you happen to watch poker, the World Series of Poker, the last couple of days of that's about to finish as well. Somebody's wrote in Russian. Oh, first, I didn't even mention about. Oh, hello, Bitter Mandarin. That's an interesting channel name. Здравствуйте. Hello. There we go. We all did miss your live and your Russian presence. We're also glad that you did a well-deserved vacation. Hopefully you are rested enough. Oh, lots of people chatting at the same time here. Rested enough to create good content for us again. Yes, thank you, David. Yeah, and thank you also for you putting, while I was in Bali, or while I was in Gili Air, yourself and a couple of people did super thanks on a couple of videos, which actually then paid for us to go out for dinner a couple of times. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And now in Gili Air, and I did mention if you happen to watch the Gili Air Harbour video, I walked past that Italy restaurant. Now they were actually not open because it was before lunch. And it doesn't look really quite as nice when I walk past it because the guy's out there kind of watering down the concrete out the front. But in the evenings, it's a very nice place. Yeah, the number 1 and 2 restaurant on Gili Air were both Italian restaurants. That one called Italy and the other one called Mama's Pizza or Mama Pizza. So yes, I'm probably with this hotter weather, I'm not exactly invigorated, like bouncing off the walls, because I'm maybe just adjusting to the hotter Moscow weather than what the normal Bali hot weather is. So yes, definitely. So yeah, I've actually got the container shipping video to come. And then I filmed what's the other one I got filmed? So yeah, the parade of trams. And then today was the car rally. It's on the same place where the motorbike rally was going back about 2 months ago. This exact same place. Where is Moscow State University? On their own plots, they rented out for students, for example. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think in Moscow or in Moscow region, maybe someone would buy that to put on land and have it as a dacha. But I think it would be more suited to people getting a bit more land and putting 6 or 8 of them on a kind of a common property, and then maybe having like a gardener and maybe a housekeeper who'd clean the rooms every day and have them as a daily rental. I've been watching your videos from Pakistan. Wow, cool. If you could cover more local topics, I'd be interested too. For example, typical Russian fast food and typical Russian rural areas. Pretty much my friend Sam, his channel is called Sam's Russian Adventures. He lives in Vladimir, which is a few hundred kilometers northeast of Moscow, and he lives in a provincial area of Russia. I don't have a car, so pretty much I'm limited to catching a train or a bus or a taxi somewhere. So it's a little bit harder to cover rural areas because I live 40 kilometers from Moscow. So maybe check out Sam's channel, or his other channel is called B Road Russia. Maybe look at that channel, and it might make a bit more sense about regional areas. There is, funny enough, about Russian fast food. When we got home from the airport from flying back to Moscow, we came and put the bags in the house, and then my wife said, she's gonna go to the shop and get a couple of bits of food and some milk and some water. And downstairs from our building, there's a food truck that's parked there pretty much for the summer that's got shawarmas and I think burgers as well. So I think I need to go and make a video about shawarmas, which are a very popular Russian fast food. And I was thinking about it actually doing it that very first day when I got back, or that next day, but I just got too tired and too jet lagged. Because there's actually a couple of different shawarma places that I could go to and taste Russian fast food. So Peter, hello, member for 5 months. Cool. Thank you for being a channel member. There's a couple of people that are channel members here. Yeah, thank you so much. There's a little symbol that comes up. There is actually some emojis that you can use as well. Now I need to make more of them. Lots of regulars from the Telegram chat here as well, which is super nice. So if you want to be a part of the Telegram chat, Traveling with Russell chat, and pretty much round the clock, someone's chatting there. So try to answer your survey whether we missed you and clicked no. It is very much a yes. Thank you, Slapko. Yeah, so on the poll, so we've got 125 votes, and 80% said yes, and 20% said no. So about 25 people or 23 people said no, and 100 people said yes. So maybe take away your Slutko, then we're pretty much about right. How come you can spend thousands on going to Bali, but you refuse to visit Lake Baikal? It wasn't thousands to go to Bali. We flew with China Southern Airlines. We didn't fly with Qatar or Emirates or some of the other airlines. We specifically went there for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. That was the main sole reason of going to Bali. And my parents came to Bali for 2 weeks. My auntie and uncle flew from England to meet us there. My mum's sister and husband, who I hadn't seen in 25 years, I think. I don't even remember when last time I saw them. And then my sister came from Australia as well. So there were 7 of us in total with my wife. So yeah, it's really kind of 2 different things, going to Lake Baikal. There is obviously content creators over on that side of Russia who are making content in that part of provincial Russia. We are planning to go and hopefully go and visit my ex-neighbor, Gleb, in Kyrgyzstan. We were promising to go last summer, and probably not for a couple more months. We'll go and see them once the weather cools down a little, because it's even hotter in Kyrgyzstan than it is here. So hopefully we can go visit them. Gleb's wife and daughter are there as well. How do people celebrate Independence Day in America? Most people have barbecues and kind of have a bit of a family-friendly day. That's pretty much what you do for that. So yeah, so that's the whole thing with Lake Baikal. Bolden Brancraft have some great videos. Russell thought he's not allowed in now. He's not. His last video, where was he? In Africa somewhere, wasn't he? Wasn't he in Africa in his last video, if I remember right? And then he was in Kyrgyzstan as well, which is the CIS countries. In our area, but on holidays that a person deserves to go. Yes, of course, David, where we would love to come to Italy. Now, my wife, to get a visa would be very difficult, but I could certainly get on the plane and come and visit you in Italy. I'd have to really beg and plead with my wife to be able to do that. Thank you, Peter, for the super sticker. Thank you so much for €1. You're amazing. And Andrea earlier, who did the Sikhs, or the Swedish kronas or crowns, I think they are. Hello, Russell from Krasnodar. Hope you will visit Krasnodar someday. It's really very interesting city. Thank you. Yeah, somebody mentioned this to me the other day about filming videos in Moscow, and why don't you film somewhere else? Why don't you film other places? Of course I could. There is more than enough content locally that I can continue the channel locally. And there is other people in other cities who make videos about where they live, right? So it's kind of like, I met actually a YouTuber in Bali. When we came back from Gili Air to Bali, I met up with an Aussie guy, an Australian guy, who lives in Sanua, which is basically southern Bali. And we talked about YouTube and talked about his channel, and I gave him lots of tips. And he solely makes videos only in the town or the province, or pretty much the town of Sanua, where he lives in the whole island of Bali. And that's his niche, is that, and not even the other, like Kuta, Legian, Seminyak, and all the other places. That's all he does. So yeah, thank you everybody who's chatting. Thank you for people who have done the poll. Thank you for 84 likes. Now the plan is, 44 minutes. The chat is very slow. I guess everyone's listening to me talking versus everybody asking questions back. So, and I've got the donation alerts window open on the side of the screen here. I know it does work. So yeah, I'm going to start I'll do the container home video probably tomorrow on the channel. It's probably late to have it. I won't get it done today. I do tend to want to try to fix a little bit the subtitles. It's very difficult to fix them, but it takes a lot of time. It's not difficult. It takes a lot of time to fix them. so that they're a little bit easier to watch with subtitles on, because I see a lot of people do watch my videos with subtitles on. So that's the point why the videos don't come out as quickly as possible on the channel. So, Robert, thank you so much for the super chat. And you're doing in euros, so maybe you're somewhere in Europe. Maybe. Small amount for your information in the videos. Thank you. Yeah, it basically, I guess it's like a gratitude. Is that the right word? Like a thank you to the content creator when you do a super chat or a super sticker or all the different things. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Bali, the Gili Air videos. So where we were staying for the 13 nights, it was a small little hotel. We stayed in another place called Gili Air Bungalows, which I made a video there the year before. I know the family that own it. One guy is British, one is Balinese. Indonesian, sorry. And he, Vinny, his name is, from England. He said maybe make a video about arriving off the boats in Gili Air as a bit of an informational video. So I did that video. Obviously, it won't get a lot of views on the channel immediately, but over time, it becomes an informational video later. And that's the whole point of that kind of video versus, and that's, I guess, a lot of point to some of the other supermarket videos and shopping center videos. They're very title specific videos. They're not blogging like me just walking down the road or me, doing the washing up in the kitchen style videos. And that's that type of video that I like to make. And I think a lot of people notice that on the channel, right? So thank you, Robert. The unfiltered vibe in your videos are unmatched. You can only cover typical apartments of Moscow. And we'll still watch. Thank you, Shahan. Thank you so much. Well, I'd love to film more apartment videos. And I guess I need to get together with Yuri to try to arrange some other places to film. Supermarkets, I am slowly running out of different supermarkets to film videos in. A lot of people probably don't realize, but almost every video I do is at a different supermarket. I do go back to maybe Globus and Pitorchka a couple of times, but I do try to go to different places and make a video about that brand of supermarkets, or even for the shopping center videos, go to different shopping centers. So yeah, thank you. Hello, Russell, an American. What is your thinking about the situation with Trump? Yes. So I saw it on social media yesterday, or on Telegram at least. It's very quickly on Telegram. And then on the bus on the way home today from Moscow, so I catch the metro and then I catch a bus home. I put my headphones in and listen to Talkback Radio. And that exact half an hour was I guess it's late night radio in Australia at the time, was an interview with an American reporter who was talking about what happened with Trump and everything. So yeah, it's not a good thing, right? I mean, any attempt on somebody's life is not a good thing, especially a political figure. Obviously, there was also the one in, I'm going to get the country wrong, not Bulgaria, Czech, which is the one in Europe, which had the attempt on the guy's life in Europe as well. Somebody type it in the comments quickly because I can't remember. So, it's not Hungary, is it? Slovakia. Thank you, Andrea. Slovakia. Yeah, this is not a good thing. I mean, and that goes for both sides of politics, right? So, everything is frozen, Skyer. So, it's not a good thing for. I mean, obviously, Trump is very polarizing, and obviously, a lot of things are going on with Biden right now. So there's so much focus on everything going on, and then this happens. It's just like crazy. And then also they just had the G7 summit. So it's extreme. I mean, I would not want that to happen. I guess you always say that, right? You wouldn't want anything to happen to your enemy or your worst enemy. You always say that as an expression, because it shouldn't happen, and whatever that guy's thoughts are in his head about what he decided to do that day, I don't know. I mean, I don't think, let's say, getting rid of somebody solves world politics, right? I mean, I think you kind of need that difference of opinion in politics to, let politics run its course. Oh, Robert's in Germany. Oh, right on. I guess everybody in Germany's. I guess now that Germany's not in the final, but you're in Germany, is everybody really caring now that the final's on? So, FICO was his name. Thank you, Robert. FICO was the name of the. I think he's now. I think he's made a couple of statements or videos since, because he was like in rehab for a long time, right, for more than a month. And that kind of will to kind of go on, and obviously Trump, I think pretty much immediately afterwards, now they've got this convention for their political party coming up in the next couple of days. So yeah, it's a little bit hectic for you to telling us your adventures in Bali and your visit with your family for the anniversary. Yes, yeah, it was very cool. The only thing with 7 people wanting to go somewhere, it's obviously a little bit harder to decide where to go for lunch, where to go for dinner. We had breakfast in the hotel. We're all staying in the same hotel where my parents chose to stay. We stayed there for the 6 days. And I took them out to, actually, that video that I made going to Krishna Ola Ola, which is this crazy 3-story souvenir shop. My mum wanted to go there, and my auntie and uncle came along, and they were just at the very end of the video. So I kind of did the walk around while they were doing their shopping. So yeah, my mum was like, "Can we go there? Russell, take us along there." So, and then my sister spent time with my wife and went to a salon, place where they do massage and facials and things like that. So yeah, it was really nice spending time with mum and dad. Where we were staying, it was a small hotel. They called them homestays, where it's generally family owned, and there was a pool, and there was only about 10, maybe 15 or 20 rooms. I don't think there was even 20 rooms there. And then mum and dad's room was a little bit bigger, and it had like a bit of a patio with we put all the 7 chairs around this table, and every afternoon and evening we all just sat there. Had one night we all played cards together, which is really cool. And my wife learned how to play rummy or gin rummy, if anyone knows that game. So yeah, it was just cool. Obviously my parents' 50 years marriage, that's just crazy. Yeah, it was very nice. I mean, everybody thought that I was going to Australia after Bali, but we flew obviously back to Moscow. The plan was to basically go there during their holiday and time up at the same time. I mean, I nearly didn't go, and then I decided that I think we should go, and it was appropriate to go. So you're going back to Moscow or going back to Russia in September. So you'll kind of catch the tail end of the beautiful weather now. I guess beautiful is to some people, and then other people it's just hot. Name is called Traveling with Russell. I don't know why some was so upset about it. Yes, this is very true. So it's very noticeable the amount of views, or the little amount of views, on videos that are not about Russia or not about Moscow. And I've had this conversation with my wife and with everybody. I think I talk about YouTube too, that I'm traveling and people aren't watching travel videos. So, I mean, I guess it's just a thing that people want to watch certain things like supermarkets, shopping centers. I know the transport videos get a lot of views, like when I did the metro and train videos. So I'm not sure how the car rally video will go today. I just basically showed a lot of cars today. I don't give any technical information. And same with the tram video yesterday. I guess it's just showing the place and the atmosphere. So yeah, that's the struggle with it, right? I mean, trying to make videos that everybody will want to watch and instantly get a viral video. I mean, we all want million view videos, but it's interesting over time. Videos obviously keep gaining views. So if you don't kind of look at them for a long time and then go back and check, you'll see 50 or 100,000 views on a video that you didn't think would get to that point, and they have. so I can see what it's like to live there. Oh, apartment videos I'd love to do more of. It's just a matter of getting people's approval to let me come and film their apartment, either if it's for sale or not for sale, or if it's just their apartment. Someone did message me today on the Telegram chat and said that they live near I forgot the name of the place. Zaginti Zatron. It's like, I know the area in Moscow where it is, and I guess they live in one of the apartments in that little micro district. So I'm going to contact them and see if I can come and meet up with them somehow and do something. We're out, but we're watching the final. Yeah, I guess I probably could have got, I guess 10 p.m. in Moscow. That'd be getting home very late if I went to Moscow to watch the match. There's definitely nowhere where I live putting it on, but I'm sure some of the bars. I did watch the World Cup final. When was that? Was that 2 years ago now? I did go and watch that in Moscow. Wayne wants to see more apartment tours as well. Wow, everybody wants to see apartment tours. Do you know any card games that are popular in Russia, like Durak? I don't know any card games. Literally, Gin Rummy is about it, and Patience. And I've not played even Gin Rummy for a long time. And it was nice to play 7 people. We had 2 decks of cards. And it was very fun to play with my relatives. And my sister and my wife sat together, so they were playing with each other, right? Or looking at each other's cards, so my wife could learn how we play the game. Yes, my wife speaks English completely fine. Yes, she gets a couple of words mixed up, but like saying today or tomorrow or yesterday or Tuesday instead of Wednesday. But yeah, no, perfectly fine. Yeah, my wife spent time with my sister quite a couple of days in a row, which was nice. So that your video from the park was a great success. Yeah, I guess the Gorky Park video. Actually, in the comments, a lot of people mentioned, so YouTube doesn't like music and there's a lot of copyright claims on videos because of music playing in the background. And then a couple of people were upset with me talking over when that young guy, if you remember the video, the young guy who was maybe 6 or 8 years old, literally got up and with a guitar and started playing music, and I was talking over him. But that's to avoid the copyright of the music because it gets picked up and then the video gets demonetized. And that's why I talk over sometimes music that's playing, because it then confuses the algorithm and doesn't pick up the music in the background. I saw one of the videos a few years ago and recently found the channel again whilst going through a tough time. I appreciate your passion. All the best. Thank you, John. Yeah, mate. John Moscow. Nice. Your channel. Yeah, I wonder if you've got a channel or if it's just called John Moscow. Can I go to the channel? Maybe not. Or you just call yourself John Moscow. More about this channel. You got an emoji. And you started your channel in 2022 on May 18. Russian Teapot 9164. That's kind of fun if that's your channel, if you might use it. Yeah, I guess even I have tough times. I mean, I'm not overly happy with the fact that the channel went down while I was in Bali. I did actually intentionally have 4 or 5 videos ready to go on the channel so I could put them on the first week while I was in Bali. So at least that whole week with my parents, I had old Moscow videos that I could keep putting on there. I've thought about it afterwards now, and I could have probably not put any Bali videos on the channel and then just resumed Russia videos and just saying I'm taking a break. So yeah, even I get down and have, bad days. But I guess it's what it is, right? I mean, I contemplated not going to Bali because obviously a lot of people don't want to see me go on holiday, don't want to see me travel. And somebody mentioned there about why I would spend thousands going to Bali and not go to Lake Baikal. I guess it's our own choice. Do videos outside, yes. And they do videos inside. Good call, Wayne. Well, at the moment, I feel like I need to do the inside videos because it's too hot. What I am going to do is not go to 2 places on the same day. Like today, I went to Sparrow Hill or Voroviva Gore. I filmed the car rally and basically a car museum exhibition. And then I came home. I went to the shopping center, grabbed some food from the supermarket, and I feel much better than I did yesterday because I did 2 videos back to back. And then by the time I got home, I was just exhausted. And I was just like cooking and boiling over from being so hot. So yeah, I feel like I need to do some inside videos because of the air conditioning. And that's an Australia thing too. When it's hot and crazy hot in Australia, you go to the shopping center or go to the movie theater or something like that. So it's air conditioned. So yeah, I definitely want to do more park videos. That's a definite thing. I very love your channel, Vlad. Thank you. And they're 5 and 6 and 4 years. Wow. They love to learn English and the Russian language. They're talking today. We're going to shop with Russell. Oh, thanks, Vlad. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I guess maybe if you're in Russia or not, I'm not sure where you're from, but I guess maybe they'll also, if they're watching videos about some of the supermarkets, they probably know the chain or the brand of the stores that I'm going to, and it's easy to relate to those places when you're watching them in English. Christmas videos, yes, Wayne, absolutely. And this year for sure, I'm going to be more. I always say that, right? I'm going to make more Christmas videos. I'm going to make more of this, more of that. And then when it comes to it with the weather, what I was trying to do before going to Bali was have one day at home preparing videos and getting them on the channel, then one day filming. So I'd go out and spend the whole day going somewhere. But essentially, it takes the whole day to go somewhere to come home because I catch the bus, I catch the train, I catch the metro. So it's not simple just to go somewhere in a car, 30 minutes, film, come home. So yeah, the Christmas market videos, that's something I need to do a little bit as well, especially capturing that mood of winter. And I really only want to film them when it's snowing because it just feels so magical, right? Never heard it in your videos. Yes, Robert, I rarely say anything in Russian. I really don't film or talk to other people to have that Russian language conversation. If you watch Sam's channel, Sam's Russian Adventures, obviously he's lived in Russia 20 years and he speaks fluent Russian. I went and visited him. I did a video about his house. Basically the weekend before we flew to Bali, I went to Vladimir for the day. Well, for 2 days. I spent the night there and came back the next day. And it's very interesting going out with him while he was filming because he has Russian conversations with people. And then that's part of his videos. King of Russia is back. Yes, Aussie comrade. Hello, fellow Australian. Actually, someone asked earlier in the live stream, have I met other Australians? And I didn't mention you. I'm sorry. I mentioned Aussie Spy, not Aussie Comrade. So there's a lot of Aussie channels. So thank you. Yes, I'm back. That yourself. When you go on holiday, everyone needs a holiday. Yes. Normal, but that also makes sense when you're on holiday. Yes. Thank you, Peter. Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading your comment and agreeing with you. I mean, the idea would have been not to put any videos about non-Russian topics. And I was trying to get enough videos before we left to have enough to put on the channel about every 3rd or 4th day. But I just ran out of videos or time to film them. I'm Cuban. I was living in Moscow 3 years, now living in India. Wow. And everything's frozen again. I wonder if it's freezing because of this whole internet thing. They said that YouTube is getting slowed down. It's getting buffered and things like that. Or is it just randomly stopping whenever it likes to stop? Yeah. Tengo Algo Alcorati. That's crazy. So you moved from, you're Cuban and you were living in Moscow. Now you're living in India. That must be like so dramatically different places. Robert, hello. Welcome back. Thank you so much. It's good to be back. Actually, you know, really when you get off when you fly back, right? I mean, there's that kind of thing. Like I know when we left the hotel, we like said goodbye to the hotel, goodbye to the pool. When we left Gili Air, So when we left Gili Air, we got a speedboat over to the mainland, well, to Lombok, and then we got a car and then went to the airport. And then it's a 40-minute flight back to Bali. And it was like, waving goodbye to the island, waving goodbye to when we flew from Lombok to Bali. And it was, like that, waving goodbye. And then when you get back to Moscow, the minute you got, like when we come outside from arrivals. So I'm always very organized with my wife loves, by the way, if my wife was sitting here, she loves traveling with Russell. She thinks that I'm like the tour guide of the trip. And she kept saying it so many times. I love traveling with Russell because I kind of do the planning of the trip, and then everything is very seamless. And like even when we got out of the airport in Sheremetyevo, so the idea is to basically come out to that arrivals where there's the taxis, and go across the street to there's like C8, C9, C10, these little pickup points where the taxis know to meet you. And it's like, get across the road, get down the street a bit, get away from the crowds and all these taxi mafia that's in your face. And first thing I saw, and I put it on the Telegram channel, was a Bohanka police vehicle, which is called, it's a particular model of car. It looks like a VW Combi, nicknamed the Loaf, Bohanka. And it's kind of like so weird because you see all the modern brand new police vehicles and they've got the old one parked up there. Oh, Indonesia here. Hello. Nice. Hello if you're in Indonesia or somewhere. Nice. Last I watched your Christmas market video before I'm fed up with summer. Yeah, I need to film more. I know I say that, but I really will this year go to a few different ones. I know they're mostly all in the center of Moscow. And just really walk around just for the atmosphere of the place and see how you really like yesterday, particularly the amount of people that are on the street there by the Patriot Ponds, and just get a feeling for the place, like so you can get the atmosphere. My metro station, supermarkets. Yes. You do miss things like that. And I know even my wife, when she mentioned that on the IKEA video, that she misses having Russian food for the 3 weeks that we were away. Which is true, right? You miss kind of the home cooking and things like that. Taking a trip to St. Petersburg. I don't have any plan in the immediate future to go there. Somebody suggested I need to go to see a couple of shopping centers in St. Petersburg. They're opening a couple of very big new ones. So I'll see what happens with that. Pay for videos anymore. I heard or only 1% of what they didn't. They don't. Well, yeah, I think. Well, I really don't talk about the money side of YouTube because I let YouTube do its thing. And essentially, YouTube, well, the ads on videos creates it's called AdSense. And I let YouTube do that itself. There's very little control that the creator has over the AdSense part of YouTube. So if they're getting poorer or not, I don't really follow their company and what they're doing, but I guess as hard as you work at making videos and putting things on the channel is as much you get back from it. So as much as you give is what you get. I mean, obviously it's a tiny, tiny percentage that you get back in terms of money. And even if you hear Mr. Beast talking about it, pretty much his whole YouTube is funded through his chocolate bars, the Feastables chocolate bars. It's not from the AdSense. I mean, I'm not selling any traveling with Russell merchandise to fund my lavish lifestyle. So everything, particularly like our trip now was, money that we saved for our holiday for whatever months. It was my wife saving from working in her salon. And then obviously while she's not working, she's not earning money while she doesn't have clients for 3.5 weeks. Introverted or extroverted? I don't really kind of understand how to answer that. I guess the thing is, it's a matter of going to places like today, like this car rally with all the old cars and then all the young people that go to look at them. And the same with the trams yesterday. I mean, it's amazing. These trams are older than all of us. And the amount of younger people that go to that, I mean, they could be at home on their phones, on their video games. They could be, doing, kid stuff or teenage stuff where they go to hang out at shopping malls, but they choose to go to parks. They choose to go out and, go to events and activities, probably more than people do in Australia. No, in my channel about Russia, I miss metro stations, supermarkets, parks, clean city, nice and focused people. Moscow is my second home. Yeah, if you spend 3 years here, I can imagine it would be. I'm reminding you of it all the time. Hello, random TNT. Hello. Have you been to Sokolniki Park in winter? No, I've definitely been there in summertime. Ice sculptures that they build and place there are magnificent, especially at night. I think that's the one where there's a place where they've got them by the road and they've got these huge ones with lights and LEDs in them. I think that's the same place you're talking about. I know I've been to this part. I've been to Sokolniki with my wife a couple of times. I'm pretty sure it's the same place that you're talking about. Sam talked about YouTube ghosting positive videos about Russia. Yes. There does seem to be, well, I guess it's theory or conspiracy theory or everybody's idea of what's, why our videos aren't getting more views. Is the title wrong? Is the topic wrong? I know he's had a lot of struggles with his channel, but both his channels, and he was demonetized a couple of times. I mean, maybe not necessarily through the content. He had a lot of problems with getting the money from AdSense and YouTube to Russia and then now to England and back to Russia. But yeah, I mean, definitely certain topics, he's getting a lot of videos demonetized, maybe because of the title. We really talked through it when I met up with him for the 2 days. And, the word algorithm comes up a lot with YouTube. And I don't like the word algorithm. The idea is to use the word audience. And whenever you think of the algorithm of YouTube, you think of the audience, because you guys on the other side of the camera, and I'm looking at my camera right here, you guys are on the opposite side. You're the one that chooses to watch my videos or Sam's videos or anybody's videos and chooses to click and watch them. So whether it's because of the thumbnail, the title, or the topic of the video, or maybe for the creator. So like Sam and I's channels are with our names in them. So obviously what I'm predominantly in the video about a topic, right? And same with Sam. I mean, Sam's is probably more vlogging and blogging than anything, whereas mine are title specific about certain places. So Russian typical supermarkets, like going to Pitorichka, Magnit, Lenta, all these different branded supermarkets. Regardless of traveling with Russell in the channel title. And, a lot of his videos being a little bit more topical than maybe what I'm doing. Can sometimes, I mean, this whole ghosting thing or what are they calling it? Blacklisting. There's another word that they use where people think that their channel isn't getting shown to people. And even a lot of his subscribers and a lot of people have reached out to him to say they're not getting recommended his videos, yet they're subscribed and have the notification bell on, and they don't see his videos. Thank you again, Peter, for the super sticker. Thank you. And to also Robert and Andrea, thank you so much for all of you for doing super stickers or super thanks on the videos. And if anybody might use donation alerts or SberBank, which if you're in Russia, you understand, I don't have my phone here today. My phone's in the kitchen because when I got home today, I literally put my phone down, put my shopping down. I put some yogurt in the fridge straight away because I had to. And then I got in the shower and de-stressed. And I've not picked up my phone since I came to the computer, so I can't see any messages coming on my phone. So, will you be open to visiting other parts of Russia? Yes, I would love to. And then if I can go visit Kyrgyzstan and go and see Gleb, my ex-neighbor, I promised him forever, and he's invited me about 1,000 times to go visit him. So whoever put a thumbs up on Peter's super sticker, thank you. I know you can put thumbs up on them. And I know if you put a comment with a question mark, like as a question in a super chat, people can reply to the comment. Like other states or oblasts. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess going even just to that, tiny house that was in Istra, but we pretty much drove there. We spent the whole day at that house village, and then we drove home. So we didn't really see. We saw Istra petrol station, and we saw Istra. We went to a supermarket to get coffee. Well, I actually got a cola, and Yuri got coffee. We went to a very fancy, like luxury supermarket because the first place we went to wasn't even open because we went early in the morning there. So, and it was very, very fancy supermarket. I should have made a video there, but we didn't have time. So YouTube probably has its own contingent akin to the one at Twitter. If you know what I'm saying, they aren't exactly Russian friendly. Yes, I've heard this a lot. And obviously there's a few channels that are now not on YouTube because of the content that they created. And that was a little bit of a thing going back about a month ago. Well, actually, pretty much while I was in Bali, all that happened, where a couple of channels disappeared. More likes. Yes, good Leo. Oh, hello, good Leo. Good to see you. Yeah, likes, comments, engagement in the videos. All of those things basically are the algorithm of YouTube. So obviously, as quick as I put a video on the channel and as quick as people click and watch it, it obviously goes up in the rankings of other videos and gets watched more. So strangely, like the video I made before I left to go to Bali, I went to the flea market, to Saltikovskaya flea market. And, initially it wasn't very popular, but it's kept growing and growing and growing. It's been one of the top viewed video in the last month on the channel. And it's a flea market. It's somewhere that I enjoyed going to. I got the train to the other side of Moscow to go and make the video. And I had a really nice day out doing it. But, you kind of think when you get home, maybe it's not going to get views, and it has now. So, greetings from Mexico. Hello. Esther Hernandez. Hola. I've been to Cozumel a lot. I've been to Progreso. I've been to Cancun, not really. Playa del Carmen. And then on the West Coast, I've been to Acapulco, Zihuatanejo, Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, or PV, they call it, not Puerto Vallarta. Ensenada. I've been to lots of the places where the cruise ships go to in Mexico. Will you visit Sochi? Now, the plan is, Wayne, not maybe go to Sochi, but go to visit Plastic Russian. And he's in, oh my gosh, have I forgotten where Plastic Russian lives? He lives on the Black Sea coast. Someone needs to remind me where he lives. And if he's watching, I feel bad that I don't remember. And also, he wants to do a live stream together as well. So if you guys would like to watch other YouTubers in Russia be on a live stream with me, I think we can definitely arrange it. He lives kind of a fair distance from Sochi, but in that part of the... who is Plastic Russian? So there's a YouTube channel called The Plastic Russian. So if you type that into YouTube, not while you're watching my channel, of course, you'll see a channel with a British guy who lives Has the internet gone off? It disappeared for a second. So yeah, there's a YouTube channel. Yeah, and it's called The Plastic Russian. Pronounced Adidas, shown on your shirt. It's a German brand. I think you won't say it right. So I'm meant to say Adidas. Is that right, Robert? Adidas? And we say Adidas. In Australia, we call it Adidas. But I think in America, they call it Adidas. It's like saying Nike and Nike. I call it Nike, but the right thing is to say Nike. So yeah, I think I'm getting it right or wrong at the same time. But definitely Adidas. Actually, I bought this in Australia last year when we were there back in October. And I bought a whole bunch of them. I went to a golf shop. I normally go to like Target and Kmart. But finally, I decided to go to a bit of a nicer shop and bought some golf polo shirts. And you'll see them in a lot of my videos too. Yeah. It was quite right. Adidas. That's what we call it in Australia. So definitely. Pretty much Adidas, as everyone else says, particularly in America, is from me working on cruise ships in America and picking up their pronunciation of it. So Pakistan, that's how good you explain stuff in your videos. Yes, about Rostix and Kuzni Itochka. Right. Rostix is what was KFC, and Kuzni Itochka is McDonald's. Actually, I haven't had Rostix in a long time. It's one of the only takeaways in my town. There is a Rostix and there's a Burger King actually in the same shopping center. And I've not had it. I was going to go to have McDonald's in Bali and we didn't end up going. My wife was mortified when I said that to her because there's 1,000 million restaurants in Bali that we didn't end up going. I didn't end up going and having a Big Mac in Bali. Trip all the way to Vladivostok. Don, I've thought about it. I just need to find somebody to do it with. I don't want to do it on my own. I'd rather do it with somebody else and share the experience with somebody else. The idea would be to fly to Vladivostok and then do the train back to Moscow and sort of fly one way and do the trip the other way and somehow make a video out of it. I don't know, day 1, day 2, day 3. I don't think I could do one video of 7 days sitting on a train, but it would be cool. Michoacan. It has a lot of beautiful places and delicious meals. I used to love going to Progresso. Now, the sad thing is I'd go to the shopping center in Merida. And we'd actually, unfortunately, go to the shopping center in Merida. We'd catch the public bus or the local bus out there. Because being crew on the ship, we'd go to Progresso every week. So we'd have to go find normal things to do when we got off the ship. The Trans-Siberian, it's on your bucket list. Let's coordinate plans. Yeah, pretty much the idea, though, is not to do the 7 days in a row. Is to do about a day's worth of the trip, then get off at one of the stops, and then stay in that town for a day. And then get on the train again pretty much the next day or the day after. And then do another day or 2 days or whatever it is. And don't do the consecutive trip 7 days back to back. And that would be the plan, because you can actually even stay in the train stations in the towns because they've got accommodation in the train stations. It's kind of like dormitory style, but you could do that. Thank you. Yes, this is my white polo shirt, which the only problem with that, it always gets a mark on it when I'm eating food. So I've got to wear this when I'm not going to have something to eat. The last symbol. Adidas. Yes. I'm the Singaporean fella from your Telegram channel. I'm so happy you're doing this AMA stream. Oh, thank you. Oh, so yeah, there's pretty much quite a lot of people. If you don't know about Telegram or you've never heard of what Telegram is, it's an app that you can download. It's very similar to WhatsApp. So think of it as the same as WhatsApp, but Telegram has a lot more channels that you can join, or news groups, and you can get a lot of businesses have channels, so you can get lots of stuff from different companies and things like that if you want to join them or not. I mean, you don't have to, right? But I'm actually in a Telegram channel that's about new shopping centers in Russia. So that's how I sometimes know about things before things are mentioned. Yeah. As an Aussie, do you care about cricket at all? Because your national team's been kicking everybody's ass. Yes. Well, it's a little bit hard to kind of follow and get the mood and the sense of cricket when you're over here. But yeah, I can definitely watch any live sport. I watched the last. I didn't really watch the end of it, but when England just beat now West Indies, and they had the presentation at the end, and Jimmy Anston's retired. So I watched the last 20 minutes of that because it was basically the test ended early, right? Because they got West Indies all out. So yes, I'll definitely watch any sport, even Grand Prix, darts, golf, tennis. I highly recommend you visiting Kaliningrad and neighboring citizens. For example, such a beautiful city and old architecture. Yes. I've seen other YouTubers go to this part of the world a couple of times. Mushrooms and berries. Come to Russia for mushrooms and berries. Yeah, it's berry season now. I know a lot of people do go mushroom picking. I was trying to convince my wife to go, and she doesn't want to go. There's a farm collective out towards where Domodedovo Airport is, in that region, where you can go there in the morning between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and you can pick strawberries, and you can keep 10% of what you pick. So you pick them for them to resell them or whatever they do with them, and you can keep 10% of whatever you pick. Now, I'm not too sure if I'll end up picking strawberries, or at least I'll go there to film the whole idea of it. But you've got to meet them at the Domodedovo metro station between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get on their bus that takes you to the farm. It's about half an hour away. It's not that far from where you get off, but I'd love to go and do that because I've heard about it before. It's called Lenin's collective farm. So yeah, if anyone lives in Moscow and has heard about this place, then apparently it's kind of pretty cool to go there anyway, even if you don't pick strawberries, because they've got I see the farm shops, and then they've got a nursery there and all sorts of things. I haven't been to any seafood places. And have you tried Moromania? Where have I heard of Moromania before? I've heard that word, but I don't know what it's from. I really don't go out for dinner. Pretty much in Bali, that's our thing, going for lunch and dinner everywhere while we're on holiday. But when we're here at home, my wife cooks pretty much all the time, and we wouldn't go out. We may occasionally eat at the shopping center at the food hall, but that's about it. Glad to see you tonight. Thank you. Oh, let me just get your names. Andre Pivan. Hello. Здравствуйте, Andre. And what's the next one there? Oh, there's 3 in a row. Adequate Show Me guy. Hello. Probably I should be able to read that. Telegram is a messenger like WhatsApp. Yes. Glad to see everybody. Yeah, thank you, Adequate Show Me guy, for being here and noticing I've got a live stream today. Now, there's not as many people watching, I understand, but I'm back in the game. I'm back in Russia. Everyone who unsubscribed, pretty much every one of my Bali videos has got negative subscribers. Are you going to be watching? Yes, I will be watching, and I'll be supporting England because I like England. My parents are British, by the way, and my auntie and uncle that I met in Bali came from England. So yes, I'd like to see England win. I'm not too sure if they will, but let's hope so. Alcaraz. So I did watch the match. Well, I watched at least the second and third set, and then I literally switched it off about 4 points from the end in the third set tiebreaker. So I admire Djokovic for his brilliantness and ability to play tennis. I don't like his cockiness and arrogance sometimes. I think, yeah, I don't like him for that. So yeah, fair play for Alcaraz to beat him and beat him very convincingly in the final now, right? So maybe a changing of the guard. I know we've talked about that. Well, it's been talked about for a lot of years with the big 3 or 4 now sort of falling away. Great. I still need to watch the videos from you being in Indonesia. Yes. Yeah, what did I make? About 5 or 6 videos in the end. Even while we were in Gili Air, every day I had the idea about going to film a video. And the idea was to go and film some resorts. Well, they're very loosely called resorts, but they're only 6 or 8 or 10 room hotels. And then I really then sort of thought about it, thinking, well, I should really only film places where I've stayed, because it's a little bit more personal then, rather than just walking in and filming it and saying it's nice when you've never stayed there. So, yeah, Blim, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. CHFs. Forgot what CHFs are. So yeah, a lot of usuals and regulars here, and a lot of people that who are part of the Telegram chat, which is super nice. And if you don't know, on the channel part of it, I post a lot of photos during the day when I'm out somewhere. So you'll actually see what I'm doing during the day more than you would, whatever video comes on the channel. Videos on a chilly morning just hit. Yes. I kind of do prefer cold weather than hot weather. I mean, I'm completely fine with Bali the way it is, where I can just go for a swim in the pool and I can just jump. Well, in the ocean, we were swimming in Gili Air, but when it's hot like this and I don't have a swimming pool and I've got to get in the shower I literally had a cold shower 2 days in a row. I've had cold showers just to bring my body temperature down. So yes, I much prefer cold weather. I know people will say you're crazy, but at least it's more controllable. You know what to wear. You can wear the right clothes. You can take the right precautions with cold weather, whereas hot weather, you're just sweating. Winter coats from head to toe over there in summer next year, and hope to get cheap winter clothing for winter in my country. It can cost up to $1,000. No, winter jackets about $100. Well, up to if you really want a very nice jacket, maybe $100 or $200. Let's call it US dollars, right? To just make it simpler. That'd be 10,000 rubles is near enough $100. So yeah, I mean, definitely $100 or $200. I mean, getting a nice scarf. I mean, it nowhere would be $1,000 for all of that. Oh, I think Zhenya is home from work. Did I run over my time of the live stream? Oh, I've got 9 minutes to go. Thereabouts. Yeah, you wouldn't need to spend $1,000 at all on clothes. I mean, I guess if you want nice boots, winter, kind of more like walking shoes or winter shoes. But the thing is, you'd wear them year after year, right? So, gee, hello. Is YouTube your full-time job? Pretty much. I don't have a job where I earn money from anything else. So yeah, I guess it really is. My name Burnley. Are you a permanent resident of Russia? I'm permanent. I've got a permanent residency visa to live here. So, but I have an Australian passport with a Russian residency visa. My dad is from Gummissel, by the way. So if you know where Burnley is, then you probably know where Gummissel is and Cleckheaton. And my auntie and uncle that met us in Bali were living in Hetmanwijk. Where did they? Is it somewhere else they lived? I should have asked them. Maybe they moved house since then. You're cute. Thank you, G. Love watching your food videos or when you're going to the parks. Thanks. Wow, I like how people like both places. You can always put more clothes on. There is also so much you can remove. That's very true with winter, right? Whereas in summer, you're kind of stuck. Even today, seeing people with like long pants on and long sleeve shirts on, it's like roasting hot. I don't know how people kind of put up with it, but I guess they do. They tolerate it. So let's coordinate the Trans-Siberian. Stranik Travel Club organizes great excursions at every stop. It takes 2 weeks to go from Moscow to Vladivostok. Next summer, I'm in. Okay, Stranik. Let me see if I can remember that. Travel Club. I wonder if that's like a... Let me open that for later. Let's see if we can find something later about Stranik Travel Club. Thank you, by the way, for the super chat. Thank you so much. And there's 2 likes on your super chat as well. So thank you if you're doing that. Thank you so much. Oh, CHFs are Swiss francs. Oh, interesting. Thank you. Well, there you go. 1 CHF is 95 rubles. I really, when people do super chats, I know it's obviously nice, the amount of money that people send, but, you know, it's all, I guess it goes into the channel. So, I mean, actually, if I was to tell you the price of this little microphone here, maybe your eyes would water a little. When my mum and dad, I had it, they were going to go pick it up for me, and I said, look, I'll just have it delivered to your house, like shipping, right? Postage. And then when they saw the invoice, because I asked them to take it out of the packaging to bring it to Bali, they were like, my dad was a little bit in shock by how much, because I got the microphone and I got a little battery that I needed as well. So my dad was a little bit in shock about the price, but that's YouTube. And to make better content, you need basically microphones or sound is the first important part of YouTube videos. So thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you so much. B Ladio. Thank you. Most of the summers are 20 to 25 degrees. Yeah, this is like 30 plus pretty much every day this week so far. I think supermarket videos show how the average citizen lives. Yeah, I mean, the thing with the videos, Don, though, is I'm going to different types of supermarkets. So even where I live here, and I've said this many times, there is 7 supermarkets in walking distance that are 7. Is there even 7 brands? 1, 2... Well, there's 4 over in the other buildings. 5 if I count the one in my building. 6, 7. Yes. There's 7 different supermarkets within not even a 10-minute walk of my house. And then if I walk less than 10 minutes to, it's called a rinnock or a food market by the main highway here, then I can buy everything in that food market. So there's butchers, there's bread, eggs, cheese, milk, whatever you like from different shops. And that's all within 10 minutes of where I live. So yeah, each of the different brands of supermarkets are different qualities, I guess, or different levels of quality of supermarkets. So I don't know how much to put on for minus 20. Yes. Yeah, I guess it does take time to adjust to colder weather. I mean, I'm completely fine with it. I actually would prefer minus 20 than plus 30. I know that's hard to comprehend, but that's just me. I prefer that. You go and buy yourself a Dobra Cola. Oh, thank you, Blin Jim. Being in Indonesia. Actually, that was the one thing in Bali was Coca-Cola was everywhere. There's virtually no Pepsi. I mean, I'm not a Pepsi drinker, but Coca-Cola was everywhere. Basically, I always get Coca-Cola, no straw. Because they always give you plastic straws, and then they end up in, especially going on a tropical island where we stayed. You know, you don't want plastic and everything because it just doesn't go anywhere. It goes into landfill, ends up in the ocean. So I always ask for a Coca-Cola with no straw. I don't don't want in the channel. I want that you go and buy yourself a Dobra Cola. Yes, I do have, well, not Dobra Cola. She's empty. This is from the last couple of days. I've got Chernogolovka Cola, which I think most Russians would agree that this is probably the more known brand. Dobra, actually, which is what Coca-Cola, the factory where they used to make Coca-Cola in, Dobra is probably more known for their juices. There's a lot of different Dobra orange juices and different types of juice drinks, and the green cartons of juices that you can buy from Dobra. That kind is the brand, basically. So, do you want to say hello? No, you're the same like me, yeah? Or you came home hot and it's a little. Jen's the same, although she just came back from work. So yeah, everybody, I think we might wrap up the live stream. It's very practically designed city and great public transport. I'm not sure about practically designed. Obviously, Moscow is 800 years old, so there's obviously not a lot they can do now to fix certain places because of the historicalness of the city. They can only really design new areas outside of Moscow where they make new micro districts and new, streets and buildings. But yeah, public transport is beyond public transport. The buses, trains, the metro, the underground train system is amazing. And coming from a person that doesn't have a car, completely appreciates it. Okay, so it's 8:30, everybody, in Moscow. My wife just came home, so that was kind of my cue not to do the live stream after she got home. I really do hope everybody's enjoyed the live stream, and I hope we can do one a little bit quicker than we can do one now. So obviously today being Sunday, I like to do them on the weekends though. Or if I do one midweek, I'll do it later in the evening, like this time onwards. Brian, hello. Oh, Don, hello. Fireflux. Whoa, lots of people saying hello at the same time. Grigas, Brian, thank you so much. Yeah, so if you haven't watched any of the older videos, please go back and maybe check out some of the Bali videos, put in a comment. That would be nice. I know they may not be along the same lines as some of the Russian videos, but that's the whole thing with traveling with Russell, right? That's me, that little character in the corner up here. I don't have that hat anymore though. And then actually now I don't have the same camera anymore either, because that's my phone on a mini tripod, which is right here. That's my mini tripod that I was using to film. The camera would the phone would slot into that little bracket, and then that would be the mini tripod that I'd use. So, yeah, I thank you, Shahan, Don, Tivizik. My gosh. Sorry, I see you when I see you. That's okay. Like crazy ideas. Well, going to Bali was really the idea after this apartment. So I have to think up of another crazy idea now. Adequate Xiaomi guy and trademark as well. Crazy idea time. Yeah, really doing some of the little fixes in the apartment. The next thing that we need to do here. We really want to change the flooring in the lounge room or the other room, because whoever laid it here didn't do a very good job originally. So see you when I'll see you on another live stream. Yeah, everybody watch an old video. The next video on the channel will be a container home or tiny home video. That should come on the channel pretty much this time tomorrow, or maybe a little bit earlier. So if you want to make that go up the charts and basically regain some of the views that I've lost, that'll be super nice. Guys, can anybody tell me if a Visa or MasterCard works in Russia? No. Basically, in Russia, you'd need to use a Russian card. I think someone keeps telling me about Union Pay or some China Pay cards. But if you're bringing a foreign credit card to Russia, they will not work. And likewise, like when we went to Bali now, Russian cards don't work in Bali. And then now that I'm in Australia, if I just hold up, well, that's the name of my Australian bank. This is my card that I used in Bali. And the minute I got outside of Russia, it started working again. That's my headphone. I don't know why that's there. There's random things on my desk here. I don't know why that's there at all, but it's right there. So yes, Mary, if you're coming, bring cash. You could definitely go and open a local bank account very easily. That's actually a video I should make, is opening a bank account in Russia and how easy it is to walk into a bank and open a bank account. Yes, paying cash. Nikita, thank you. Okay, everybody. Thank you, whoever's done 139 likes on the video. Thank you so much. Join me over on Telegram, along with some of the other regulars, particularly David and Vitali and Andrea, and I think a couple of others that are here in the chat that I'm not remembering the names. Thank you to all the people that did super chats. Thank you so much. It really does help the channel and makes making videos just that little bit easier. And it doesn't let me stress so much when I'm in Bali and videos aren't doing so well. Your wife is, yes, she is literally in the kitchen. Actually, I did do shopping and brought some dinner home. So continue work, but registering the new one is Russia. I don't know about old cards working because my card definitely doesn't work. Deal. Hello in Estonia. Hello. Okay, everybody. I'm out of here. Sorry if I'm not shaven clean today, but you can understand with the weather, I look a little bit rough and ready actually, but I will be looking spick and span for the next future videos. So yeah, have a nice day, everybody. See you on Telegram. If you want to post a comment under this live video once it's finished, you're welcome to. Let's call it the live stream crew. If you're watching this, comment under the video that you're part of the live stream crew, so I know that you watched. Okay, I'll see you all in another video. Bye, everybody. Bye.